G'day crew, welcome to the Hidden Why podcast of THY TV. My name's Leigh Martinuzzi, pumped and excited to have you here with me today. It is a fantastic spring day here in Japan. Beautiful sakura out in full bloom. You can probably see those behind me. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just the perfect weather today. Beautiful spring day, nice cool breeze. And today, guys, I want to share with you a 3-minute thought. So guys, this 3-minute thought came to me last night. I was down at a local hot spring, which is a Japanese onsen or hot bath. And I was just sitting there in the hot water and I was watching the water fall down. It fell from about 1.5 meters, 2 meters high, and it just fell into the hot pool of water. And as I was watching the water, I just started to reflect as how the flow of that water is much like the flow of life. And so I want to reflect on that thought today and see if it gives you some insights. It will certainly give me some insights about how perhaps we should or could better live life. So I was watching the water flow and I thought, you know, that water is flowing and it's almost without our control. It just flows and it goes as it goes, you know, it's in total flow. It doesn't have any concern of time or even consciousness of time. And that's much like the flow of life. When you're in real flow, time just passes you and it's essentially outside our control. We don't have much ability to influence that flow. Flow of life is the flow of life, and that is how it is. Yet as I was watching the water flow, I thought, you know, we try and influence that flow of water so much. We try and force it to go in a direction. And as we forcibly try and make this water change the directions, we just cause ourselves more disease and discomfort. And it doesn't actually help to build our character. And I was watching this flow of water and it was coming straight down and there was this big giant sort of boulder or rock where it was falling on. And I could see the water over time has shaped this rock. It really has. You could see the water had made a bit of a groove into the rock, and in doing so it changed the direction of the flow. And so I was reflecting on that as well, and I thought the rock and the shaping of the water and the flow was much like the flow of life and how it shapes our character if we allow it to. Yet when we're trying to force this flow in a direction that's not natural to it, we're actually forcing its ability to shape our character. And as I was looking at that and watching the shape of the flow of the boulder influencing the direction of the flow of the water, ultimately, I thought, you know, as we allow the flow of life to really influence our character, that also therefore influences the direction of the water, the direction of our life. And is why I thought it's paramount for us to really just allow that flow of life to flow and to go with it. Stop trying to force it to go in directions. And as we just go with it, that'll build our character, that'll build our personality, our traits, and then that will then hold influence and redirect the course of our life, the course of that flow of life. And then I was thinking about it a bit further and I thought, well, how can we influence that flow of water? And I guess if we can't influence the flow of life, can we influence the source? And I was thinking about that and I thought, well, the source of the water is probably what's paramount in the hot spring and the nourishment that it does for our life. And I thought if we can get to the source of our life, of our reality, and influence that, perhaps that can influence not so much the flow of life, but the content of life, and therefore perhaps influence the way it shapes our character and therefore directs our life. So this might be a little bit in depth, and I hope it's making sense. But as I was reflecting on that, I thought, you know, we could influence that source by influencing what we're exposed to. And I started to think about thoughts, and this is something that I've been thinking about. I've had a few chats to some people that I know recently about thoughts and where they come from. And for me, thoughts, because I do a lot of meditation now, my thoughts seem to come from either the past experiences or past events in my life. So they pop up and I can see that thought has stemmed from some sort of past experience. Or they come to something I'm exposed with in the moment. So what is in front of me, like right now I'm seeing these cherry blossoms, and that can sort of influence and bring about thought. And thought can also be brought about by thoughts of what might happen in the future. So future cravings, desires, etc. So thoughts really for me are a stimulus. And if we can sort of influence what we're stimulated by, what we're exposed to, perhaps we can influence that thought and therefore influence the source of that water or the content of the water, not necessarily the flow of the water, but the content. And that will help better shape and nourish our character and therefore perhaps better direct our lives more purposefully. So that was my thought, guys. I hope that makes a lot of sense because I really think that it's paramount. And I believe that we've forgotten about character, and really we're shaped by that flow of life, and we have little ability to control it. I mean, there's scientific evidence now that's saying we don't have free will. We're shaped by our chemicals and the biology of our nature, and apart from that, we don't have much free will. But I'm influenced, I'm convinced, and I believe that we can influence the source, the content, the nourishment of that flow of life by what we expose ourselves to. And by doing that, we can not only allow that flow of life to really shape our character more beautifully, but in doing that, direct the flow of our life and the direction we take in our life more beautifully as well. So guys, that is my 3 minutes thought. It's about double time, 6 minutes. Apologies for that. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Jump into thehiddenwhy.com, leave your comments and thoughts there. Guys, just look at these beautiful cherry blossoms. They're amazing. You'll get a few of these over the next few weeks because the blooms are out now, and I'll be doing a couple of videos in front of them. So guys, enjoy that. Jump into thehiddenwhy.com, leave your comments and thoughts there. If you like this thought, let me know, and make sure you share it with your network. You can tweet it out, you can Facebook it, you can connect with me there as well. Guys, always love to hear from you. And until next time, peace, passion and purpose. We'll see you soon.